Celebrity endorsements over time. Research conducted by Jessica Wellman, Olivia Franco, Emily Polasic, and Lisa Brock. Abstract. Overall, our goal for this study was to see the trend of celebrity endorsements over time. What we did was create a constructed decade, so we took all of the even years within that decade. Say it was 1980. We would take 1980, 1982, 1984, and 1986, and 1988. Then we took 4 months consecutively out of each year. Overall, we coded 9,902 advertisements. Our variables that we coded for were the name of the magazine, the product type, the celebrity type, multiple people, the genre of the magazine, the gender of the celebrity, the ethnicity of the celebrity, the modesty level of the celebrity, and if there was a statement from the celebrity. We had 4 magazines that represented 4 genres over 4 different decades. For our genres of magazines, we coded for 4 different ones. The first, Fashion and Beauty, Vogue. The next, Rolling Stone for music. Then Bon Appetit for food and beverage. And finally, Good Housekeeping for home and garden magazines.
Hypothesis 1. The genre of the magazine will predict the gender of the celebrity. Here on the graph you can see there is somewhat of a correlation, but let's go to the table and get more of an example. All right, here you can see that the female for fashion and beauty is at 72% and the male is at 11%. And for music, it's 4.6% for female and 60% male. So from this table, you can see there's a correlation between fashion and beauty and females, because most females are the ones that read the fashion and beauty magazines, and the very little celebrities are male. And then for music, it's somewhat flip-flopped. So 60% are actually male. This may not mean that most males read the music magazine, but it means that it can be relatable to both sexes. And at the bottom, you can see our results. Hypothesis 2. The genre of the magazine will predict the status, celebrity or non-celebrity, of the model in the magazine. And for this, we coded for either a celebrity or a non-celebrity, which is non-applicable. In this one, you can see that most celebrities were found in the fashion and beauty magazines, and the least were found in food and beverage. This could be from several different reasons, but for the most part, for fashion and beauty, the products that they are trying to sell need some kind of celebrity endorsement to help get a purchase out of them. And for food and beverage, there may not need a celebrity to sell the different products, such as washer and dryers and other household products. At the bottom, you can see our results.
The third hypothesis we tested focused on the decade predicting the content of the magazine advertisement. We divided this hypothesis into sub-hypotheses by identifying different characteristics of content. The first sub-hypothesis was the decade of the magazine's production will predict the gender of the celebrity. As you can tell, the peak in which women were mostly seen was in the 1990s, versus the males were mostly seen in the 1970s and 1980s. Our results are seen below. The second sub-hypothesis was the decade of the magazine's production will predict the modesty level of the celebrity. In this sub-hypothesis, you can see that overtly modest was predominantly seen from the 1970s to 2000s. And in the 1990s, overtly sex appeal was mostly seen. Our results are seen below. The third sub-hypothesis was the decade of the magazine's production will predict the ethnicity of the celebrity. As you can see from our table, Caucasians were predominantly seen throughout all the decades. And in the 1990s, African Americans/Blacks were almost seen to close to 50% of the advertisements in the magazines. Our results are listed below. Our fourth hypothesis tested was that the genre of the magazine will predict the ethnicity of the celebrity. As you can see in this table, Caucasians are the predominant ethnicity seen in all genres. However, in fashion and beauty, featured the most ethnically diverse models out of all the genres.
There were multiple strengths and weaknesses of this research project. The strengths were a large sample size. We coded almost 10,000 advertisements. We had a good representation of a full year and decade because of our constructed decades, and we had 100% intercoder reliability. We also supported all of our hypotheses. Some weaknesses were missing magazine volumes, limited variable categories, and limited magazine genres.